According to a survey done by State of Agile in 2020, around 95% of companies use Agile development methods. But when you look at the specific areas of the organization, a slightly different picture emerges. As you can see, the adoption of Agile outside the software development and IT department is still at an early stage. The great promise of agility to do twice the work survey half the time by State of Agile blended with the rich catalog of agility drivers defined by enterprises such as faster product delivery, increased flexibility, the power to solve silos between business and IT, or the fast and continuous improvement of customer satisfaction are all very tempting. However, Agile transformation is a massive and a long-term process. A tough thing, especially for well-established companies, and in general, the greater the scale of operations, the more challenging it gets. My name is Marek Lewandowski, and I'm a product implementation consultant at BigPicture, the leading portfolio, product, and project management system for Jira, a part of Appfire family. Today, I'd like to talk about Agile transformation at scale, about using Jira and BigPicture to manage massive, diverse portfolios of initiatives before, during, and after the journey from full waterfall to full Agile, or to the degree of agility suitable for a particular organization. For starters, if you have never heard of BigPicture, let me introduce a few fast facts about our company. We are on a mission to rehumanize management through technology by providing solutions that help managers simplify and automate mundane administrative tasks so that they can focus on soft aspects of the job so important in the agile and hybrid world. We've been around since 2015. Our products, mostly the flagship solution BigPicture, are used by tech frontrunners in more than 130 countries worldwide. Over 30,000 teams on all continents use BigPicture, BigPicture Enterprise, or Big Gantt to manage work and elevate their productivity to the next level. As you can see, global tech frontrunners have placed their trust in our solutions, and we are genuinely grateful for and proud of that. Since June 2021, we are a part of Appfire family, one of the fastest growing and most disruptive players in the Atlassian ecosystem. Now I'm going to start with an attempt to define the phenomenon of agile transformation and take a closer look at why companies choose to go agile. Next, I will specify some of the most common and not so common challenges organizations face when going agile at scale. And lastly, I'll take a closer look at the software aspects of agile transformation as seen from the portfolio management perspective. Throughout the presentation, I'm going to show you real-life examples of how we at BigPicture believe organizations can manage massive, diverse portfolios of initiatives before, during, and after Agile transformation using Jira and the most recent version of our tool, BigPicture. Some define Agile transformation as a finite thing, a full transition from the waterfall mindset to an agile mindset and a management framework. At BigPicture, we prefer to think about agile transformation as a process, a journey in which each organization has the freedom to choose its destination and the optimal degree to which it adapts agile. From my experience, and from what we observe among BigPicture users, quite many organizations never reach full agility, as agile methodologies are not a silver bullet. They go agile to the extent it brings value. In fact, it implies a number of challenges. There are three main things which determine the success of an agile transformation: the culture, structure, and the practices. And according to Mike Kottmeyer from Leading Agile, the starting point is very important. And according to Mike, you should start with structure, as the culture takes a long term to develop, and practices without the required structure might not result in the value for the customer. Structure will be the driving force, which in turn will develop the culture. Determining the starting point might be a challenge by itself, as your software development teams are already agile, and let's keep in mind that we are dealing with hundreds of projects and potentially millions of tasks. Mindset and mentality. From projects to products, from feature development to value delivery. This can be extremely difficult, especially in well-established environments, with firm procedures, hierarchies, and fixed modus operandi rooted deeply in the corporate structure. Organizations need to understand their current culture, including the behavioral pain points that can be used as a starting point to articulate specific mindset and behavioral shifts that would make the biggest difference in delivering business results. Helping employees shift their mindset can be the first step towards the successful cultural change. Here, as the shift in the mindset is more psychological, I will not show any examples. However, you will see in a bit that BigPicture can be of great help when it comes to explaining how things work in practice. Next are the language and roles. Along with Agile methodologies come Agile roles and terminology. Scrum Masters, release-trained engineers, tribes, squads, backlogs, program increments, and a whole bunch of ceremonies which seem hard to accept for some professionals used to conventional ways of getting work done. As the terminology differs across different frameworks, the tools used need to reflect that. With BigPicture, you can adjust the terminology to your needs, and more than that, we have actually done some of the work for you. BigPicture Enterprise includes 11 configuration templates to comply with the framework or methodology of your choice. Let's have a look at one of such templates. As you can see, they differ in multiple ways. For example, some modules might be disabled or renamed. Each of these modules or management spaces can be configured or adjusted to the need of different roles in the organization. For example, the scope module typically serves as the product backlog, which is used by the product owner to prioritize work. The project manager will have all the data presented in different modules to have a detailed view of all the tasks, while the portfolio managers need the high-level overview of all the initiatives. Your time boxes, such as the iterations, can be sequential or overlapping. The task structure varies from a simple epic story subtask to a more complex, which includes custom links, which are used to structure. With version 8.1, we have improved the auto-scheduling so that the start and end dates of your initiatives or program increments will be always up to date and resulting from the actual schedules of a particular box. Also, we have introduced auto-scope-based mode. The new scheduling mechanism will auto-schedule the box start and end date based on the actual scope of the box. And another auto-scheduling auto-bottom-up mode, which is based on the projects in the portfolio. When implementing Agile bit by bit, you will have numerous Agile and non-Agile initiatives coexisting in your portfolio. This means different effectiveness measuring methods, different objective setting approaches, but one portfolio with common strategic goals. So in other words, do you have a tool that supports all these different working methods? The solution here, and what is actually the common denominator in that case, with BigPicture we can organize different types of projects, products, etc. into portfolios with high-level information about their status. With version 8.1, we make this view more customizable so that you will be able to show the information you need at this portfolio level. Collaboration of Agile and non-Agile teams. Here, the challenges include language, again, workload, allocation, flow of skills, and different role switching dynamics. The challenge wasn't so much people trying to combine waterfall and Agile, it was figuring out how Agile teams and waterfall teams can work together while maintaining these distinct approaches. The solution? Well, the commonly used tool in waterfall is the good old Gantt chart, while Agile teams mostly utilize boards. So how can we blend these two different tools? Can the teams work together while maintaining distinct approaches? We have two options, or actually three, as we can use both of these tools together or simultaneously. Let's start with the board module. Here we can see the different teams as swim lanes and their time boxes. On the very top there is a timeline with milestones and important events. The markers on this timeline sync with the Gantt chart, which gives us the exact point in time when the waterfall team will be ready or when the Agile team should be ready. When we look at the Gantt module, we can see the time boxes highlighted and the tasks are aligned with the start and end dates of these time boxes. No extra effort is required, as this alignment is done automatically by the app. Thanks to this view, both teams have the insight of what, who, and when, all in real time, to track deviations from the plan and their impact on the overall plan. We can also use the resources module to monitor the workload and optimize the resource utilization. From the more strategic perspective, such a view is great when we want to create an Agile team with the required skill set, check the availability of people in our organization or maybe non-human resources, and in general answer the question, when can we start working on a new initiative? Or what is needed to start working on a new initiative? Data standardization and validity. How can we measure the effectiveness of work in mixed portfolios? How to do it when different reporting structures are used simultaneously? In order to properly monitor your work, you'll need tools that will provide metrics and reporting at the release, product, and portfolio levels, regardless of the methodology used. With BigPicture, you can report on various artifacts, and the tools provide synchronizations of Agile and waterfall projects, as well as visibility from the team level to the portfolio level. With BigPicture, you can connect your tools used by teams such as the very popular Trello, or maybe another instance of Jira, or even multiple instances, or maybe a very popular, especially in America, Azure DevOps. This way, gather artifacts from both Agile and waterfall projects and merge them into a common platform. By integrating the artifacts provided by the teams, a common central repository can house the content, status, and quality data from each team. The data can be aggregated and help to provide status transparency and a fuller look at the big picture. Finally, there are some technical, software-related challenges that your organization will encounter when going Agile, such as keeping the control over numerous tools applied simultaneously by teams and managers, management apps imposing full agility in only partly Agile context, and so on. Software challenge number 1. Variety of work management tools or different habits and routines across teams. So there might be all sorts of different tools used by your team, and the solution is very simple. When something works, don't change it. So how not to impact the way the teams work? You can connect the different tools to BigPicture or BigGantt, which is quick and simple. No additional setup is required. Software challenge number 2. Integration. This means different tools used at the team level and at the management level, which typically means data transferred manually between these tools, which in turn results in a waste of time and risk of data manipulation at many different management levels of the reporting chain. The solution, having a single app instead of synchronization between all the different tools. Even the slightest change will be instantly visible to users as the data is presented in real time. Software challenge number 3. Tools compliant with only selected Agile methodologies. For example, SAFe. As Agile transformation is a long-term process, and as some organizations might never reach 100% agility, using a tool designed for a pure form of Agile framework cannot support the process. It forces a sudden shift, which is not an option in large organization. So the solution here is to adjust the tool to your organization instead of the other way around. BigPicture is flexible enough to handle this task perfectly. Agile basically means that you don't know your final point of destination. So having a tool that supports all these different frameworks which you can pick on your Agile journey is of great benefit and will determine the success of your projects. Thank you for participating in this webinar, and we will start the Q&A session shortly. I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Our first question is, given BigPicture is part of Appfire family now, can we expect more deeper integrations with other Appfire apps?
Thank you, Anna, for that. Thank you, guys, for that question. That's actually a very on-time question, as we are currently analyzing the possibilities to integrate Appfire's apps, and as you might not know, the portfolio of Appfire is amounts to around over 200 apps. So we have already identified, just for Jira, 20 of these apps, and work is in progress. I don't want to be ahead of the analysis, but in general, there are some really useful, powerful applications such as the Power Scripts, dashboards, Agile reports. All these fill the gap that we've seen in our products. So that would be a great addition, and we are doing all we can to integrate that further.
Next question we've got, with Atlassian taking cloud-first approach, can we expect BigPicture to also push more and more features to cloud-first?
Yes, that's exactly the case. Right now, cloud customers actually receive the latest updates, the latest versions first. And of course, in addition to that, we are also do our best and provide all the help we can to facilitate the migration to cloud products, as more and more Jira customers will be migrating to Jira Cloud. One more thing here, as there are some few differences that will be few gaps that will be breached very shortly, that are actually two main features on that list are the tempo integrations and gadgets for Confluence pages and Jira dashboards. Here work is very advanced, so in the upcoming releases you will gain this additional features which a lot of our customers are waiting for.
Next question we've got, how BigPicture versus others such as Portfolio Roadmap will solve the Agile problems and issues, and what's that core concept that BigPicture is having that compensates with others on a great basis?
Oh, that's a tough one. So all these tools are really great and useful tools, but we have to keep in mind that of course we can argue, but in my opinion a perfect solution doesn't exist. So the question is what gets us closer to perfection. And as I mentioned in the presentation earlier, one of these things is flexibility. And of course, the amount of features and solutions that such an app provides. In the latter, we feel that BigPicture really provides a lot of capabilities, and of course, we keep adding new features. It's all driven by what our customers need. But let's also not forget about some limitations in some of these products. The main problem is the amount of data that the tool can handle. So as for BigPicture, for big guns, we are really looking at huge volumes of data. That basically means that performance is of primary importance. We are constantly improving the performance to simply handle more and more bigger volumes of data. But there are also some differences, and I believe that BigPicture is the solution that is able to help you at any point on your agile transformation journey. And even if you deviate from the frameworks that you start working with, it's very easy and simple to switch, to change. So that kind of flexibility is that really helps, especially that things change, the environment changes. As there is this saying, the only constant is the change. So here, BigPicture will be able to help you at any point on your journey.
Next question, we've got how BigPicture is different from advanced roadmap.
Yeah, so as I've said, if we look at BigPicture, I compare BigPicture and advanced roadmaps, and look at and analyze it from the feature perspective. Of course, BigPicture provides way more modules, as we call them, management spaces. Right now, it's around 10. It also helps in managing your resources to a larger extent than roadmaps, and it's way more advanced, right? So I would say that roadmaps is a great tool, and of course we understand that sometimes your needs are not that demanding. But let's remember that the tool that you're picking has to serve you for a longer period of time, as we believe we want to grow with you. So we are planning in the really long term, and that's why as you grow, your needs will change. You will need some additional features or options, or as I mentioned earlier, the volume of your data will grow, and you might encounter some technical limitations, which in our case are really not an issue. Any other questions?
Yes, following question we've got about our roadmap and if it can be shared externally and how much it is compatible with Confluence.
So right now, the roadmap module, which by the way will be renamed soon to objectives, right now so to clarify, because whenever we refer to a roadmap, there are two things. So maybe I'll address these two topics. So first of all, as I started saying, we have the roadmap module, which can be currently exported to PDF, and of course your roadmap board or your objectives board can be displayed, can be also pasted to Confluence pages. We understand that a gadget that will do that for us would be of great help, and here again work is very advanced. So besides the already mentioned couple of gadgets that are available for Jira dashboards and Confluence pages, there will, if I remember correctly, there are 4. The additional gadgets will be also added shortly. As for the product roadmap, which is related to this question, you will find you can find our public product roadmap on our website softwareplant.com under the learning section. And also keep in mind that actually our Jira backlog is publicly available. So jira.softwareplant.com. Just use the incognito mode, and you can browse through our all the requests that we have gathered so far. There's quite a lot of items there. But I think that's the best way to stay up to date with our work, with what we are doing.
Another question we've got, does BigPicture takes into account dependent tasks in order to calculate the expected completion date?
So here the answer is partially. That depends on the module being used. Of course, there is auto scheduling that will definitely help you to determine the completion of your project, and that really makes life easier. But there's also, if I understand the question correctly, there might be also some comparison to advanced roadmaps, and in that case, our program board module does not support such forecasting of the completion. But here again, we want to improve that. But if I remember correctly, that would be in a longer term. It's not on our short and mid-term time roadmap. So if you want to get a more detailed answer, please reach out to us, and the product team will be more than happy to provide you with some more details.
How can we do resource planning with BigPicture?
Well, yes, planning resources is a very hot topic. So, of course, as the organizations mature, the need for such standardized planning becomes greater. There are different ways to do that. That depends on the framework or methodology being used at the organization. But long story short, there are actually two main modules. One of them would be the resources module, and the other one would be the program board, or the default name is the board module. So let's start with the board module, which supports the time box approach. So of course it has the capacity planning screen where you can set the capacities for your teams, or actually for the individual team members, and of course set it for the upcoming time boxes, and based on that, not only do the capacity planning exercises, but tasks, but also use the board to actually track work progress. On the other hand, we will have the resources module, which takes a bit more strategic point of view. It helps to address two questions. One of them is when we can start working on a new initiative, when will we have sufficient resources based on the data within the resources module. Of course, we can look at the past consumption of resources, or how our work so far, how it consumed our available resources, so that we can make data-driven decisions. Of course, we can look at the consumption of resources at real time, and also do forecasting. Forecasting means that thanks to that, we can make hiring decisions, plan our resources in advance. And what is also important is that we can actually combine these two views. However, keep in mind that due to the way that you estimate your work, there might be some challenges, but we are also able to actually convert story points to time units. So BigPicture is also capable of that, and combining these two modules gives you a full transparency of your resource utilization across the organization, and based on that, you can book, reserve, or develop hiring more resources in future.
And I do believe this is our last question. Given the challenges teams have in visualizing how their backlog could be better manageable using Agile and sprints, are there any templates or sandbox views that BigPicture provides so that teams can view and try to visualize their backlog?
Yeah, so BigPicture includes a module that is named scope module, which in one of our templates, if you have BigPicture Enterprise installed, you will see that, but as you can rename modules, is renamed to backlog. So yes, we have a dedicated module for that. It's fully customizable. It allows you to report on, not only manage, prioritize your work, but also report on various artifacts. Such a backlog can be found also in other modules. So you'll see this is quite a common component in BigPicture. And yes, as I said, it's fully adjustable. It allows you also to structure your work, which is of great value, as we know that, for example, in Jira, the hierarchy is quite limited. So BigPicture does not have such limitations, and again, you can structure your work automatically and gather data, update the data in real time. And do we have any templates? Yes, we do have some. We do have configuration templates for the different frameworks, so it adjusts the configuration to the need of for a specific particular use case. However, as for the backlog, I'm afraid with backlog per se, besides the configuration or the structure or the information provided in the default view, which of course you can adjust to your needs. I think that's pretty much it. But I'll be very interested if you could provide us with some more details as for what you are interested in, and I'm sure we can figure something out. Okay.
We've got one more question. What types of reports can we fetch from BigPicture? Is dashboard gadgets available?
Yes, so there are, when we refer to reporting, we can look at it from different perspectives. First of all, it's the data itself, which is aggregated, and in most of BigPicture modules or the management spaces, you will be able, as I mentioned earlier, report on the various artifacts and at any level within the hierarchy. Again, we are very flexible here, so you can organize your work however you want, and BigPicture can also do that for you. Besides that, we have inbuilt reports, for example, within the board module or within the roadmap module, that allows you to generate reports on your current status of works, on your capacity, on your team's capacities, individual capacities, work progress, and so on, and objectives as well. We have a dedicated reporting dashboards, which is which allows you to actually specify what data, what will be presented on the different charts. And what I really like about that is that these are drill down charts, so you can, just using one single chart, you can drill down and specify different categories. So that's a very useful feature. And besides that, as you mentioned in the question, we do have gadgets, which are a great addition to Jira dashboards and Confluence pages. And of course, let's not forget about the AppFire's great apps that also take the reporting to the next level. Although we are also planning to, this is on our roadmap, to deliver a new reporting module, which will take the reporting capabilities of BigPicture to the next level.
We have no further questions.
Okay, in that case, guys, thank you for your time, and feel free to reach out to us if you need any further information. Thank you and enjoy the rest.